Crafts, episode 13. I'm MandoBug, also known as Amanda. Welcome, new viewers, if you're just finding me today. And thank you for coming back, returning viewers. Know you are loved. Okay, so something I've learned. This week, again, I have learned a lot. A lot more than really I have time to share. So I will pick one that seemed to be pretty important. Well, one slash two. So I picked up this pattern. It was on sale at a local fabric store. It's like a quilted purse by McCall's. Let's see. M6. Is that upside down? I'm not sure. It's M6094. And I just fell in love with this bee purse right there. This one. So I went ahead and picked it up. And I didn't really have fabric for it yet. And my Joann's coupons came in the mail, of course, and had 50% off. So I went and I got a fabric pack, 50% off. And so I've started making the purse. I got the front and back made. I got a Thanksgiving pack. It's so cute. Look at the little turkeys. Little turkeys. And I got pumpkins and coordinating fabrics. The fabrics that came in the pack are the ones in the diamonds. And the rest of it is what I had just already. So what I learned doing this was that when you're sewing projects that are patchwork, specifically like this, it is really important to the way that you press your seams. And I didn't realize that. I mean, I was following the directions, I just didn't realize their importance until I kind of messed up. I mean, luckily you can't tell too much, but on the back you can see like it got sewed down in one direction, twisted, and then sewed down in the opposite direction, so it doesn't lay flat as much as I tried pressing it. But the most important thing is that when you're lining up these diamonds, if the seams aren't pressed in the opposite direction, they won't line up. I think I have one that happened to. Well, I guess it must have not been that bad because I can't find it. Okay, I guess this one is kind of off. Right here. Where the 2 points meet. They're just a little bit off. And this is really just me being a perfectionist. But what I'm talking about is the way the seams overlap. So, I don't know. It's hard to show. But if you do any sort of quilting patchwork project like this, I recommend really paying attention to the way that your seams are supposed to be pressed, because it is important in being able to line everything up perfectly on the corner, and also to have the back of your pieces lay flat. You can see all my mess ups back there, like especially in this area. So I learned not to do that, not to make those mistakes, because it does matter. But so far, I think this bag is going to be super cute. I'm really excited to continue working on it. It's just a lot of cutting, sewing, pressing, cutting, you know, on repeat. So, and oh, last week I talked about the color of your thread not mattering unless you top stitch, and this is an example, because you can't tell there's any white thread being used on this side, but on the back you can see I used white thread and it kind of stands out. So it doesn't matter because no one's going to be seeing that side. So on to my works in progress. I've done a little bit more spinning on my Olive You Fibers Merino, pink and gray. Not that much, but I'm enjoying it. Trying to get a light fingering weight. We'll see. My consistency is not very good. Like, I thought it was good, but when I'm really looking at it, it's so small it's hard for me to tell if I'm appropriate in size or not. So, we'll see. I just keep on keeping on with it. But I haven't really been doing too much spinning because I have a lot of projects going on. So I've started these 4 Seasons cabled baby socks by Edith Murphy. It's a free pattern. It's a request for socks that basically look like this. I was sent a picture, and they said they didn't have a pattern, but they wanted something that looked like this. The only difference between the sock that I've made and the picture was that the cable doesn't continue down through the toe. And honestly, if that wasn't in the pattern, then I can't do it. This is my very first sock ever. Shh. I know. I thought these were pretty good directions for being my first sock. It's top down, and I learned a lot, because I didn't know what any of these pieces of the sock were. I didn't know, so like the heel flap, I could figure that out on my own, but like the instep, I would have thought that was down here somewhere, but no, it's along the top. So that threw me off, and gusset is just a weird word. So that threw me off too. And really, I'm still not sure where that is. In the picture I was looking, it was like here-ish, but I don't know. Maybe it's just different for different socks. But I guess that's where the increases were. I don't know. The short rows were scary, I'll tell you that. I was so afraid I was going to mess those up. I had never done any sort of knitting where you don't knit through the entire row and before you turn around and go back, and it was really scary. But I did it, and I got a finished sock. And then for the toe, I got to revisit the Kitchener stitch. So last week I talked about doing the Kitchener stitch on my cowl, and guess what? Oh, excuse me again. I did it wrong. I did it so wrong. It's a good thing you can't tell. Well, you can't really tell. I showed Lindsay from the Knit One podcast, and I was like, hey, can you find my Kitchener stitch? And she did, but only because she was pulling, and she saw the string that went through. And that's not supposed to be there. I don't remember if I weaved in my end that way or what happened, but I can tell you right now, I know I did that stitch wrong, because when I followed the tutorial for the toe, it was completely different. I will link the video I used to close up this toe if you are interested in a better video than I linked to last week, because what I was doing was you knit and then purl the first two stitches and then purl and knit the back two, and you only take off the first one, and I was taking off both of them, and I think that's what caused the little tiny gaps that I had on my cowl. But you really can't tell because it's such fine stitches already that the holes are small, so I'm not too sad, but now I know how to do it correctly. So I finished one sock. I got another one on the needles. I'm just using Hobby Lobby's worsted weight. This is ivory colorway. I think the pattern calls for size 6 needles, but I only had size 5 DPNs, so I've been using them, and my gauge isn't off too much, so it's not a problem. So I gotta make 3 pairs of those. Luckily, they don't take very long, and I'm gonna get really good practice making socks, because I would really love to make an adult-sized pair for myself in sock weight yarn, so it's good practice. I also started a sweater. Okay, this sweater is all my fault. This is bad. So last Christmas, a guy from work had asked me if I would make him an ugly Christmas sweater. And it was like 2 weeks before Christmas. I was like, that's impossible. I cannot make you a sweater in 2 weeks. And he was like, okay, well, can you make me one for next year? I was like, yeah, sure. I could do that. And so here it is, next year. And Christmas is like a little more than a month away, and he needs it before Christmas. He needs it by December 5th, and I'm just now starting it. I promised it to him last year, so I have to do it, right? I think so. So because it is an ugly Christmas sweater, I've decided to use yarn that I actually got for free. So it's kind of funny. I used to make hats for this company online, and they use loops and thread. I think it's a Michaels brand yarn. And I needed to order some green because my local Michaels was out, and so I ordered some offline and on eBay, I think, and they sent me red. and like a 4-pack of red, and I needed green, and I wrote them back and they're like, oh, keep the red, I'll send you green. So I got 4 skeins of red yarn for free, so I'm gonna go ahead and make the majority of his sweater out of this. So this pattern is the Father Pullover by Melissa Leapman. It's a crocheted sweater. I'm making the extra large size, and it is crocheted, and no one okay, I can't say no one, but I don't feel like crocheted fabric is particularly comfortable to wear. I would not make myself a crocheted sweater. It's not for me. But this is an ugly Christmas sweater, and crocheting is way faster than knitting, so I'm going at it. This is like a ribbed stitch at the bottom, which was interesting to do, and the rest of it is in half double crochets. So it's kind of boring. Whee! But I should be able to get it done fairly quickly and in time. I time crunched myself on this one. It's going to be interesting. But, so yeah, I started that this week. And then my Los Lirios. So I'm trudging along. I still want to finish it for Nerd Wars, which means I have like 7 days. Maybe I don't have 7 days. I have 5 days actually, but I'm getting close, right? So, I mean, I'm still on the knitting rows, but I have more than you saw before. I think I was only here. Now I'm up here. I'm so close. I think I have like 20 or 30 rows left. So I think I can finish it, but I'm going to have to slowly work on this straight for 5 days. This morning I was working on it and I dropped like 10 stitches in a row. I wasn't paying attention and my needle just slipped out. And I kind of picked them up and I've tried to do what I can to fix it, but I've already decided I've made so many mistakes in this dang shawl that I'm okay with it. It's just going to be it's going to be a project to remind me where I started. Really, I guess is what it comes down to. So like here, you can see all this nice netting, and then like what the heck happened right here. This is where I dropped a whole bunch of stitches. But whatever. In the scheme of things, can you really see it, I don't know. So, I've been working on that. Hopefully I'll finish that soon. And then on to my finished objects. So I finished my Everglade hat. Here it is. So this is Everglade by Woolly Wormhead, and it is a DK weight, I believe. I'll link to it. It's DK weight hat. I used Cascade Yarn Sunseeker, which is a cotton acrylic blend, which I do like the drape of the lace within the cotton acrylic blend. I think that's really pretty. It's going to be nice and airy for like fall time, where it's kind of chilly, but you don't need like a thick wool hat yet. The only thing I don't like is the Knit One Purl One rib, and it's not the pattern's fault. It's a nice design characteristic. It just does. I don't like the way it looks in this yarn, so in this fiber. So I've tried it on. I prefer it with the brim rolled up, right? So I think that looks, well, not to cover the lace, but I like the rolled brim look. It's got a little bit of a slouch because it's not meant to be rolled, but I'm not losing anything, I don't think. I hope you can see me. I just tried to stay in the same spot. But if I let the roll down, it's got way more of a slouch to it. Whoops, table. And I think, I was really drawn to that slouch, but I just don't like the way this Knit One Purl One turned out in this yarn. So I think when I wear it, I'm going to roll it up, which you could probably notice I kind of have a thing for the rolled brims anyways. I like the rolled brim look. So I'm very happy with this hat. It's so sparkly. I don't know if you can see it. Sparkles. So, nice little pattern. I enjoyed it. I actually didn't make any mistakes except for that first time I told you about making mistakes when I started the lace. I dropped a stitch here and there, but I was able to pick them up in pattern, so it wasn't too intimidating, unlike my shawl. So I love this hat. And then my other finished objects, my cat's laying on them. You know, I closed my door so that he couldn't get in here. But guess what? He was already in here. I didn't even know. Hi, Meow. Oh. Meow, meow. Oh. Hi, Guy. Are you laying on my projects? Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna have to move you. Oh, goodness. Okay. Come on, Meow. So, I finished my projects bags. Here's one, and I have actual straps this time. For my original bag I showed you last time, I used a ribbon and it wasn't long enough, so I used the patterns straps. So outside, inside, it's all boxy. So I'm very pleased with these. I want to find a way to adapt the pattern to make it larger. It's for sale larger, but I want to believe that I am creative enough to figure out how to scale this bag, right? Because I have a lot of big projects. But, so these are done. I got 2 more project bags so I can store all my works in progress. So, moving on to check it out. So this week I went on a special date with my husband to a place called Van Gogh in Vino. And places like this are all over the states. I don't know if they're outside the states. But the idea behind it is kind of like painting and having a glass of wine. So Josh and I, for us, it was $35 a piece, and all the supplies are included. So you show up and there's a canvas and paint and everything already there for you, and there's a painting that everyone's going to be painting together. And they tell you in advance, so you can sign up for which particular painting you want to make. So I have our paintings right here. You probably saw them because my cat was laying next to them. But I signed up for the pumpkin painting, of course. So here's my painting. And I've never taken an art class or anything, but I tried to learn how to draw and paint on my own. So I'm not on the artistic level. I'm like maybe low middle because of the amount of practice I've had. But I mean, that's what my painting turned out like. I am so happy with it. And this is just me proving it's super simple. Because look, here's my husband's. And they look almost identical. I mean, the class was amazing. It's step by step, and the paints are already mixed for you. They got the brushes out. They teach you the techniques. You get to practice. I just had so much fun, and I want to go back. So if you are interested in painting at all, or maybe you like to have some wine, I would definitely look in your local area for places that do this kind of painting and wine. It's like a social or date night experience. It's really nice. Everyone's in a good mood. No one is I mean, artists aren't going to be taking these classes. People who are professional are going to be taking the class because they already know how to paint. So everyone's about at the same skill level. And I mean, I just had a lot of fun, really. So I encourage you to check it out because I had a lot of fun and I will be going back. So, so that was that. So current events. Nerd Wars is going on, and I'm really trying to dwarf the nebula again. And I don't know if that's going to happen. And I'm not only having... Okay, now, come on. He looks like he's going to knock the camera over. I know. You just want to be seen. And now he's going to lay on the quilting. Oh, meow, meow. So, anyways, I really want to dwarf the nebula, and I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I finished my spinning, which, because I just have flexible schedule left now. I finished that, and I'm hoping to finish my shawl, and then I will have dwarfed the nebula. But dissertation check-ins are due like this week. I think we were able to start turning them in yesterday. We have from yesterday until 7 days from then. So if you're at the halfway point, you get half of your points. If you're not, you still should check in so people can see, you know, where you're at in the progress. And even if you don't get the half points at this moment, if you finish in time, you still get full points. But I don't know, I think it looks really good to be at least halfway done, and you probably have a better chance of finishing on time if you're halfway done at the 2/3 way mark. I'm not. I've got 20 inches out of 60 inches. That's like 1/3 of the way done. So I need to knit at least, I need to knit at least 10 to 12 more inches to be halfway by 6 days from now. So, feeling the pressure. I got all this stuff going on. I mean, somebody ordered a Viking hat from me, so, and I told them they'd have that by the 1st, so I gotta hurry up and make that too. Plus the 2 I donated, that's being put off because the silent auction is gonna be longer, so I have more time until they'll even order them. But still, I feel like I've overstretched myself. Probably shouldn't have done that. But, so yeah, as far as upcoming events goes, I have, I've been looking into the knit-along thread because I really can't resist a good knit-along. So, Lily Go is a designer, and I've really been favoriting a lot of her patterns. She primarily, I'm sorry, it's getting warm in here. I got the heat on in my house, so this is warming me up. Yeah, I've been favoriting Lily Go's patterns for a while now, and she does a lot of knit-alongs, but I haven't really had the time to join any yet. But I just saw she's got one coming up called Tentacowl Mystery Knit-Along, and it's really cute because it's got a little picture of an octopus, like Tentacowl, get it? See what she did there? But it's super cute, and it doesn't start until the day after Christmas, which I think is perfect because a lot of my stressful knitting will have been done by then, so it'll be a nice unwind time. It's a lace textural cowl. You can either knit it in fingering weight or DK weight, and beads are optional. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to join this. I don't have yarn picked out for it yet, but I'll probably use some Christmas gifts or ask for yarn for that for Christmas. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, it starts the day after Christmas. The pattern's on sale. If you purchase it or join the knit along before it starts, you get the pattern for $3. Come on, Meow. No one wants to see you clean yourself. If you wait until after it started, it goes up to its full price of $5. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. But, oh my goodness, I have to show you this because it's just too cute. Hi, Meow. He's all curled up on his back. But, yeah, that's basically all I have for you. So, I will see you guys next week. Have a good Thanksgiving!